Hi there, Andrew Gagnon of The Eating Bed. What you just saw was the best part of the Destiny beta, a part that when I saw I felt excited saying, man, this could be a great game. Unfortunately for me, it went downhill from here. I will read you word by word my blog that I made, and you can judge my own judgment. The much anticipated Destiny beta has now wrapped up. Of course, it was a PS4 exclusive at first for the pre-order purchasers before it went to Xbox 360 and Xbox One pre-order users. Finally, it opened up fully to beta to everybody over the past weekend. As someone who worked in the developmental side of gaming for a brief stint, I do understand what a beta is, or rather what it used to be. At beta testing, the main building blocks like story and mechanics are done. They can't really be changed, but variables like weapon strength, range, rate of fire, player traits like jumping and running speed all get tested out by a larger audience. This is because studios in a formal beta group, it's only a fraction of the amount of people you get in a public beta. And of course, it's there to help find out bugs and push servers to the limit with mass amounts of players. This is a true beta build test. Now, over the last few years, beta has become more of a PR preview. I mean, this isn't the fault of Bungie in this case, we're doing the Destiny beta, because it is common by countless developers to do this. But while there's still a practical testing in public beta, it's got more of a marketing edge to it. You don't have to go too far to find a forum post or tweet that mentions, I'll decide whether to get the game after I play the beta. I think, honestly, it is primarily for marketing nowadays, but that's a sidetrack blog. So, it's not Bungie's fault that really this beta test is not about finding bugs, but it's about selling the game. In fact, despite the fact that I know this isn't a real beta test, it's a test drive. And I went and took it for a spin. There is no question, as a beta, it only shows a few parts of the game, but it took me not even an hour to get a solid feeling about this game and what I thought about it. Now, I played it on the Xbox One, and it does have things that I would expect a next-gen game to have. No question from start to finish, the biggest positive is the graphics and sound, which are sharp. That is clear from the opening GUI and cutscene, and is there in the gameplay and in a simple yet sharp post-game lobby. Found that visually great. But what about the guts? What about keeping me interested at any playing level to this game? Because when I played this beta, I thought of many things. All of them being how this game reminded me of a bunch of other games, but not in glaring positives. Just small déjà vus of things I had done elsewhere. Like when you begin setting up the character with detail to the degree of even eye color, reminds me of an EA Sports game mixed with COD. I mean, Bungie made Halo, who at one point had minimal customization, but this is the type thing that so many games are expected to have now. Now I can actually swallow the idea that if this game is so damn big, it's going to be important to have a way to put your stamp on how you look. I mean, you don't want to be wandering around an open world with only 8 different looking characters. Now in the tower, the open world portion of the game, it's home base to where you equip yourself, find missions, etc. It reminded me of Star Wars Mos Eisley port. Actually also reminded me of Borderlands, and of course with the scenery of Halo. Now gone are the days of a simple pop-up menu when you buy, sell, and equip your character. This is 2014. You interact like in real life. But what I got wandering around is the fact that I wasn't for a minute eager to speak with others. Most of them were sitting in circles like they were ready to play Interstellar's Spin the Bottle. Yes, the open world means do what the hell you want, but where is my drive to do something? Where is the carrot? It felt horribly hollow here. This word, in fact, hollow, is a perfect explanation of my Destiny beta experience. If this is 10% of the game, as developers have told us, then what kind of tumbleweeds will be rolling through when it's at full capacity? At this part of a game, I should have this pang of excitement over what could be possible. The new car smell, the first kiss feeling for this game as I'm anxious to explore it, but I don't. Never got that. Nevin D. of the Ready Up Live podcast, a very knowledgeable gamer who I respect a lot, mentioned that it reminded him of one of my favorite games ever, Red Dead Redemption. This as far as the free roam mode. He felt it was like the evolution of it with Destiny. I'll be honest, not since the initial confirmation Bungie would be making this game did I get excited about it like I did hearing Nevin say that. Again, I love RDR and free roam in particular. You can go solo in a posse and do what you want. So if Destiny is the same thing and massively bigger, how could I not like it? Well, I don't, because frankly, it's dull. You've allowed me to do anything I want, go anywhere, but it's effectively the same thing I have played thousands of times before in other games. Where do I go? I don't know, because everywhere I went was dull. And it wasn't truly free roaming. I mean, I was going to another game type that I could, in other games, simply go to a lobby and at least get a beer while I sit around and wait. First of all, I can't believe the bouncing players in any game type jumping and shooting like they're playing on trampolines. While this, for first-person shooter, is common. Everyone was doing it to the point I walked away from matches. It felt like bad Halo 2 multiplayer with shiny color and outfits that reminded me of how Star Wars Episodes 1 and 3 and their fiasco. You know, when Lucas went outrageous on the outfits to try to have your eyes fool your brain that it was a good movie. Because here I am in space with a bandana, shiny bright colors, and a slight pirate angle that screams a bad Paris fashion runway than a cool gaming look. The look of this game was simply over the top. In a calendar year where Titanfall showed what mobility can be to create a smooth flow, Bungie has the same player movements that have turned into the tired, bunny-hopping gameplay that dozens of shooters have gone and gotten wrecked by. But wait, there is magic. That's right, you're going to try to run and gun, but then, like a bad power weapon that kills any game, Bungie brings out an old card, a friend of Armorlock, by giving you magic. How many times are you in a gunfight actually for a brief moment between hops enjoying yourself when your opponent pulls out a dove or some crazy other thing out of their bright bandana-clad magic hat and boom! Takes you out just like that, having you say, what the fuck just happened? Halo, in particular Bungie's versions, had incredible weapon balance. In Destiny, I found that certain weapons were just head and shoulders better. In a 1v1, it was like predetermined the outcome with whoever had that better gun. With vehicles, it was the same thing. You had no chance if you faced a vehicle in some cases, but if you had that power weapon, the vehicle was toast, point final. Don't even bother trying if you're on the lower end of this fight. Really out of balance, not very Bungie-like. But this is why you do beta. It's things like this that should be pointed out to, that make the game less enjoyable so they can fix it. I can't imagine this will be the same when the game goes gold. Because really, it hurt the beta gameplay. Now, of course, there's no campaign, really, to any large degree in the beta, and that's understandable, Well, maybe the campaign kicks ass, but face it, I am, as well as the biggest chunk of most game communities, a multiplayer guy. So if Bungie is showing me 10% of this massive world I'm supposed to play for a couple of years, you'd think it'd be a kick-ass 10%? Because it wasn't. There were times where I had some gameplay fun, but it was like, getting a kill when I needed it, winning a game, but nothing made me go, wow. It was the same kicks I got from playing any run-of-the-mill game. I see no staying power for this game for me. Again, nothing that screams must play every day for months that other great games really have. For me, the only innovative, unique features of the game was the aesthetics that made you look like a kid took 10 different sets of Lego and then created a mutilated mishmash looking character worthy of a drag queen show. Yes, the environments and GUI looked great, but that's expected, and that's just lipstick on the pig. What matters most is gameplay and long-term playability. I mean, to be honest, player customization is not innovative at all. Only for Bungie games, which never had it at this level. Granted, they never needed these types of bells and whistles before, and this is next gen once again, so again, it is expected. Now, Bungie partnered with old arch-rival Activision, so we have Halo and COD at its base. We have the ideas and feelings of games like RDR, Borderlands, and even at times Mass Effect when you play this beta. This whole ambitious project fails in its beta form to create its own long-lasting identity as an innovative standalone. Instead, I get this feeling as I trip through its nice-looking but boring gameplay that this is from this game, this is from that. This feels like every other shooter. Oh, nice cape. Say hi to Harry and Ron Weasley when you see them. Until finally, I think I'll play something else. Now, Bungie walked away from Halo and created a game that effectively plays like it as its core, then pollutes it with this whole space cowboy attempt at badassery that fails. I mean, I thought it stepped away from Halo to make something different, fresh, and innovative. I mean, please, that's guilty spark flying around. Now wait, before you said Bungie invented Halo, they can copy it. Well, why did they walk away from it if they were going to copy and paste so much of it? I mean, the Thrall characters are so Flood-like in the way it jumps and sounds. To a Halo fan, it's near insulting. I think Bungie wants WoW-type numbers playing. And bringing in magic and massively open worlds shows us kind of reaching out to that type of player to some degree. But really, this is a task nobody has been able to do fusing first-person shooters and MMOs, and still hasn't. I'm sorry, Bungie. Instead, you have a rather vanilla result. Maybe it's me. I expected the next great first-person shooter series or title. But this isn't that type of game. This is an MMO where you have to play for hours upon hours to level up to be any good. And then you have to keep playing for hours and hours to stay at that level to the point where it becomes a burden. But you see, that's too WoW. This is not what Halo had before with Bungie. So, is this as easy as Bungie is only throwing a weak first-person shooter into a primarily MMO? If so, well, yeah. Well, I dislike it on so many levels because MMOs simply don't appeal to me. Now, Destiny's Destiny will, at this point in time, be a game that sells a lot, builds up huge lobbies of tens of thousands of players, then sinks faster than the Titanic. They will make their money, be assured. Bungie already has a legion of old Halo fans who have given them blind faith to ignore the PS exclusive and this really lackluster beta. I do admit the campaign is the only thing I'm curious about. I mean, I like stories, so hearing what's up in this universe is something that I'll probably look up on YouTube after release of the game. But once the campaign is done, it's done. The multiplayer is supposed to keep you going. You already know my views on that. For me, it's simply nothing fresh and nothing there to give it staying power. As aforementioned, it's hollow. I hope, and honestly, it wouldn't make much sense to take this strategy to not to have it now. Bungie has a massive twist in this game that they're holding back on, so its fans awaiting release will have a multiplayer that's playable. Because honest to God, right now it's, wait for it, hollow. I do thank Bungie, however, for letting us all try Destiny with this beta. It saved me wasting $60 on this game.